Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this evening, Presidency says Vice President Shettima's recent speech not about Governor Fubara's suspension. Lawmaker asks INEC to create 2 new state constituencies in Rivers State. Federal government blames technical glitches for non-payment of workers' June salary. On the foreign scene, medics warn Gaza's largest functioning hospital facing disaster. I'm Sam Chinedu, and the news continues after the break.
When in need of assistance or help within Rivers State, please contact the Rivers Emergency Service with the following numbers: 0904 022 2281 or 0904 022 2283 or 0904 022 2285. These lines are for emergencies only. Call only when you're in need of assistance. Thank you.
This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. The presidency has denied claims that Vice President Kashim Shettima's recent comments were connected to the state of emergency in Rivers State. In a statement today, the president's senior special assistant on media and communications, Office of the Vice President, Stanley Nkwocha, said the way the media reported the vice president's speech was grossly misrepresented and could cause division in the country. He said the vice president referenced a historical episode during the Jonathan administration when there were alleged moves to remove him as governor of Borno State at the height of the Boko Haram insurgency. He clarified that Shettima's remarks were in the context of acknowledging Adoke's role as a public official and did not amount to commentary on current political events. The clarification follows media reports suggesting that Shettima's recollection of former President Goodluck Jonathan's alleged attempt to remove him as governor of Borno State during the Boko Haram insurgency was a veiled critic of Tinubu's decision to suspend Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Reacting to the vice president's comments, a political science lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt, Dr. Obi Nawadim, says Shettima's comments show a deepening political rift between him and President Tinubu.
Statements by the vice president shows that there's a crack in the presidency politically, showing that there are rumors that there's a likelihood for the president to drop the vice president in 2027. There have also been rumors that some of the duties that the vice president were supposed to take upon have been denied him. And when the vice president came up with this, for me, it is not new. It's something that shows that there has been some level of disagreement over time.
One believes the vice president could have shared his experience in a more careful way if there was no problem.
There are other ways such could have been done. Even if he knew that his boss was wrong, he wouldn't have come up the way he did, make public statements regarding the action of his boss. Administratively, when a boss errs, there are ways which a subordinate should also approach his boss. Once the decision has been made, he's also part of the government. But for the fact that he's come up to make this statement, he's trying to absolve himself of the mistake that has been made by the government of which he is part of.
Similarly, a lawyer in Port Harcourt, Mr. Otonye Amakri, says the vice president's remarks confirm the growing concerns from some Nigerians about how democracy is being practiced under the current administration.
The kind of undemocratic practices that the present administration is carrying out. To come out to say this shows that he's not a happy man in office. He does not support what the president is doing. But what can he do? He's a spare tire. As for the Attorney General, I think he has not done well as a legal practitioner of note. And even though law is a social science, there are limits to the implementation of certain powers or policies that will go against the grain of democracy as we practice it.
Amakri added that the past actions of former Speaker Tambuwal in advising against removing a sitting governor highlights how today's National Assembly depends too much on the presidency.
And of course, it goes to confirm that they are not doing their oversight function very well. We have seen that even the vote of the Senate to confirm the state of emergency, they couldn't do it in the open. They went into their secret chambers to do it. Just as a court of law cannot go into chambers and decide a case because the Constitution says that hearing must be in public. That is how the Senate should have behaved in holding that state of emergency session in the open, so that in the gallery, people will see who is voting for what and for who.
Another lawyer, Innocent Eku, disagreed. He believes the real problem lies in the actions of the judiciary. Dr. Eku accused the Supreme Court of delivering confusing judgments recently, which he says shows signs of compromise and have encouraged abuse of power by the executive.
Because the Supreme Court wanted not to offend the authorities of the day. When we were studying law in the university, we were told that a judgment of a court must be concise, clear, definitive, unambiguous. It must not have any form in it that will cause the public to misunderstand the judgment. Now, if you look at that elementary principle of law to what the Supreme Court of today is doing, you will see the shame upon this nation.
Meanwhile, the public affairs analyst Mr. Olalekan Ige says Vice President Kashim Shettima's recent comments about his experience during former President Goodluck Jonathan's administration shows the importance of having strong institutions of governance across all states. Ige spoke to correspondent Emeka Otuka. He says strengthening institutions is key to preventing political interference and ensuring stability across the country.
What the man said was quite profound. I support him clearly for advocating for strong institutions, because democracy will only thrive when all arms of government are independent of each other, and when we ensure that institutions that are meant to protect democracy in Nigeria are strengthened and are well protected to ensure that they deliver tenets of democracy to Nigeria. So we need to strengthen the institutions, the executive, the legislature, all the institutions. We need to strengthen all of them. We need strong institutions. In fact, one of the strongest institutions we need is the Independent National Electoral Commission. Remember, it is those who count the votes that matter. It's not even the voters.
Moving on, the Rivers Entrepreneurs and Investors Forum, REIF, has expressed concern over the stagnation of economic activities in Rivers State, attributing the situation to divisions within the political space. According to a press bulletin released by the forum, economic activities in the state have come to a halt over the past couple of years as a result of the ongoing political conflict. The group noted that during this period, Rivers State lost numerous economic opportunities across various sectors. REIF, which describes itself as a leading investment group in the region, says its consistent position has been to advocate peaceful and harmonious resolutions among the warring political factions. The forum emphasized that peace is essential for investment and all related economic activities to thrive. The statement was signed by the president of REIF, Ibifri Bob Manuel, and its Secretary General, TMT Braid. Still to come, lawmaker asks INEC to create 2 new state constituencies in Rivers State. Stay tuned.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me.
Welcome back. A federal lawmaker in Rivers State, Mr. Cyril Hart, has formally requested the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to create 2 additional state constituencies in Rivers State. Hart represents Degema Boni Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. In a letter dated 7th July and received by INEC, Hart called for the establishment of Degema State Constituency 2 and Bonny State Constituency 2, citing constitutional provisions as a basis for his demand. Hart reminded INEC of its obligation to periodically review state constituencies every 10 years. He also argued that the creation of the new constituencies will strengthen political representation and improve governance and service delivery for residents. Away from that, residents of Eligbolo community in Obiakpo local government area are counting their losses after 2 days of heavy rainfall in Port Harcourt. Correspondent Emeka Otuka, who visited the community, reports that the rains destroyed several properties, including fences, footbridges, and household items, among others. Some residents blame the flooding on the overflow of the canal.
The rain that fell day before yesterday was so terrible that a lot of properties were damaged. Thank God there was no loss of life.
Anytime it rains, it will overflow the bank, so it will not enter into our houses. You can now see my house. I'm working on the fence now. Because of the excess water, my fence had to collapse.
Water full everywhere like this. So even our phones safe, therefore up. Everything just enter the water. On the bridge, no single bridge remains. It's only God help our children. We carry our children to school. So because of that, even to sleep in the house, no way to keep the children. Even this newborn baby, then carry it inside the other church that is in this place. Our property, form, everything, even inside my house, everything soak.
It's terrible, I'm telling you. It's almost you are running out of this place because water flooded everywhere.
They are also appealing to relevant authorities to urgently desilt it to prevent further damage when it rains.
So the canal is giving us a hell of problem. So if government can help us to canal the canal so that the water will flow very well. By the time the grasses grow on the canal, it will not allow the water to flow well. So if they can help us to canal it, we are going to be very happy.
May government come and help us. It's too much for us. This canal now for Elios, if that place now block, the thing will come back.
So we are begging for government, please let them come. Every year it's happening. We that live near the canal, the thing is terrible.
Meanwhile, a stakeholder in the community, Mr. Kelvin Wanwan, said this year's flooding has caused more damage than in previous years. He's calling for the dredging of the canal, especially during the dry season, to avert future disasters.
I think this year is worse than what we have last year. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I'm seeing this kind of flood. Although it has been happening in previous years, but this time around it was something else. If you can remember, last year, because of this same flood, we almost lost a child, the children that were coming back from school, if you remember. This time around, the thing is much. It came, the whole of the grasses from the water, the footbridge and other moved down to the manhole under Elios flyover. So the water was not flowing any longer. So the water started returning back to people's houses. And
some Port Harcourt residents say street gates have not stopped petty crimes in their areas. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, the residents in NTA Mboba, Mercyland and Nkpolu axes blamed some of the security guards stationed at the gates, alleging that these guards secretly give information and help outsiders target specific compounds for stealing.
There must be a person that lives inside the state that will bring people, who will be the one to tell them, look at where we are going, look at how we are going to follow. Any outsider will not come inside the state and steal because we have security. There must be a person that's living inside here that will tell the person, look at what is going on. These are our jetmen as well. No, it's not the security. They don't have guns. They're not getting any uniform. So anytime when they want boxing, that one anytime they can come in. So when they find uniform men and food for them, they also help. They will not follow here. They must find any other way to follow. Maybe where there is no gate.
Like this road now, this Mercyland now, like all these entrance, these shops, at times they vandalize this transformer, this ammo team. When you give them so much power, they to begin to enter to get them. And so that is the reason why that arming them, I would not say that one is a way forward.
Our correspondent also gathered that these residents pay between 1,500 naira and 5,000 naira as security fees, depending on the street. In other news, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, OAGF, has attributed the non-payment of some federal civil servants June 2025 at Mokwa, said the glitch affected mostly workers whose salary accounts are with a particular new generation bank. The office assured that it is working closely with relevant service providers and stakeholders to resolve the matter. On the international scene, Doctors have warned of an imminent disaster at Gaza's largest functioning hospital because of critical shortage of fuel and a widening Israeli ground attack in Khan Younis city. Nasser Medical Complex was forced to stop admitting patients on Thursday when witnesses said Israeli troops and tanks advanced into a cemetery close by and fired towards nearby camps for displaced families. The forces reportedly withdrew today. Medical staff and dozens of patients in intensive care remain inside the hospital, where the fuel shortage threatens to shut down life-saving services. There were no immediate comments from the Israeli military. On the news this evening, you heard the presidency says Vice President Shettima's recent speech is not about Governor Fubara's suspension. A federal lawmaker, Cyril Hart, has asked INEC to create 2 new state constituencies in Rivers State. The federal government has blamed technical glitches for the non-payment of workers' June salaries. On the foreign scene, medics have warned that Gaza's largest functioning hospital is facing a disaster. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Sam Chinedu. Thanks for listening.